Shifting of materials from one place to another, from one site to another site, using cranes, a boom truck, and this is a critical work, high risk task, which may lead to the falling of the load, hitting or crushing of the load to existing facilities, toppling of cranes, overturning of cranes, and maybe crane incident may occur because of poor communication or high wind speed. What will be the ultimate result? Potential serious injury or maybe death. A crane incident or accident can also result in significant property damage and impact the project's budget and scheduling of work. So, in all cases, every time, if you are involved or if on the site there is a lifting activity, you have to consider it a high risk activity and you need to closely supervise lifting operation. Lifting might be dangerous anytime, but as per the Lifting Operations and Lifting Equipment Regulation 1998, every employer shall ensure that every lifting operation involving a lifting equipment is properly planned by a competent person and secondly appropriately supervised and carried out in a safe manner. So this is one of the regulatory requirement as per LOLR regulation 8. And who is the specialist person for lifting operation? That is called lifting appointed person, LAP. Today I'll discuss about the lifting plan because lifting appointed person's basic responsibility or the duty is to plan a lift. I'm going to look what must be the part and parcel of a lifting plan if we are expecting a site safe lifting operation. Prior to jump on the main topic, if you're first time on this channel, kindly subscribe Safety First Life. And if you find the video informative, then like, comment and share it with your friends and colleagues. Dear friends and fellows, let us look now what information must be the part of a suitable and sufficient workable lifting plan, how we can conduct a safe lifting operation on site, how we can avoid crane overturning or falling off load. There are four important factors. Number one, the load itself. Number two, the task to be performed. Number three, selection of the lifting equipment. And number four, the site where the activity or the operation will be carried out. So let us discuss now one by one all four parts and we'll start with the first part of the lifting plan, that is about the load. A lifting appointed person should consider the load first of all. What is load? Load might be an item, any construction material, any pallet, equipment, machine, pump, motor, scaffolding, shuttering, steel bundle, whatever, which we are going to shift from one place to another with the help of the crane. That is called load. In the load, we'll see what constitutes the load. Is the load in one piece or likely to fall apart? Does the load have built-in lifting points? Can you use standard lifting equipment? Is the load strong enough to support itself from its lifting points? Does the load present any special problems which may affect the choice of lifting equipment? Maybe hot, cold, or corrosive? What is the actual weight of the load? What is the center of gravity? Is the load fixed down or free to be lifted? Will the load need any additional force to overcome addition due to seals or oil, grease, etc.? You need to critically analyze all these questions when a load is in front of you and you are acting as a lifting appointed person, because without making a thorough inspection and without getting the answer for all these questions, one part of the lifting plan, that is about the load, shall never be complete. After the correct and detailed analysis of the load, let us understand now step number 2, that is the task to be performed. In this step, you have to look for how high the load to be lifted with the help of a crane. If the load is only to be raised and suspended, what arrangements are in place to ensure safety and security of the load? Is the load to be moved once raised? If so, what direction and the exact distance? Are there persons in the area over which the load is to be moved? Does the load have to be turned over or orientated? So, this is the task where we are going to shift the load. You have to look everything as per these questions and you need to get the answer before shuffling down to step number 3, that is about selection of lifting equipment. This is also a very important step. Dear friends and fellows, you are on the platform of Safety First Life. We are talking about lifting plan, a workable, suitable and sufficient lifting plan. Part 3 is selection of lifting equipment. In the lifting equipment, you have to look for adequate capacity of the equipment, safe working load, operation, manual machines not too hard, and operating speeds for powered equipment not too fast. You have to consider this by all respects, practically when you are at site, by operating the crane with the help of operator. Secondly, headroom and height of lift, positioning over the center of gravity. Travel must permit any sideways movement of the load. Safe to operate, thorough examination certificate, it must be valid, it must be available with the crane. Supporting the load if it cannot support itself, wide webbing sling in basket hedge. Containing the load, use additional accessories if necessary. Damage to the lifting equipment, bending, cutting a heat, control of the load, taglines where necessary. It can be used or not. You will consider all these points while you are going to select the lifting equipment for safe lifting operation on site. Step number 4, the site itself. We have discussed about the task. We have discussed about the lifting equipment. We have discussed about the load. Now, where we are going to lift the load, we are talking about that specific area that is called work site, job site, where the lifting activity shall be practically conducted. In all but the most basic of lifting operation, it will usually be necessary to communicate and enlist the cooperation of others to avoid conflict with other activities. What activity is going on nearby? Maybe there is scaffolding, there is shuttering, there is steel fixing, there is masonry work. You need to communicate with these affected parties before starting a lifting operation. If they can cease the activities, they can. If they cannot, they have to follow the safety requirements as per the lifting plan and as per the site requirements. Why it is required? Because to keep the lift safely without risk to others, the area can be evacuated if required. A check on the hard standing areas may be necessary, mobile cranes, landing areas, etc. Dear friends and fellows, this is a short training session. In any of the lifting plan, you need to understand, you need to memorize 4 points: the site where the activity will be carried out, the lifting equipment with the help of you are going to start a lifting operation, the task, what activity you are going to complete, and lastly, the load itself, what you are going to lift and where you are going to keep it. These 4 important points must be the part and parcel of any of the lifting plan if you like to carry out a safe lifting operation on site. And that's all for now. If you like to know in depth about safe lifting operations, I'll keep the link of a playlist that is about lifting safety in the description. You can enjoy. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, comment and share the video. Hope to see you soon. For now, good luck and goodbye.